capabilities available to all Filipinos. So basically, it could be in the form of a mobile application that they can use. And Filipino citizens should be able to use it freely. But using it freely should also have the responsibility for them to be educated on how to use it and be educated on media literacy. Next one is the adoption of anti-scam community mobile application. So, Mr. Chair, if I will be allowed, I would just like to socialize. So I am the country general manager of Gogolook. So we are providing the free use of the Who's Call mobile digital anti-scam solution together with the deepfake detection that is completely free for all Filipinos. So this is something that, like we can also extend as part of this overall project. Next slide po. Okay, so going on to the detect phase. Detect phase is really identifying what are the threats. So in identifying the threats, the first one is we see that it is essential that there has to be a report and monitoring cases of information disorder from community tools that's being used. And then the next one is dark web monitoring. Explain ko lang po, Mr. Chair, when we say dark web monitoring. Dark web monitoring or the dark web per se is not the usual let's say IE or let's say Google that we just enter different prompts. So basically, this is the network of the adversaries or the attackers. Marami na rin po dyan mga highly sophisticated scammers and fraudsters na gumagamit po ng deepfake monitoring. So sa deepfake monitoring, andyan dyan din po yung mga conversation ng mga hackers or attackers with regard to conversation if they wanted to launch a campaign. Ano po yung example po ng campaign? It could be a deepfake campaign that will be proliferated across the Philippines. And then going to the next recommendation is the implementation of the ASOC. ASOC, I believe, is not something that is present yet in the Philippines. But in other parts of Southeast Asia and Greater Southeast Asia, we already have the Anti-Scam Operations Center. So this is basically po a reporting hub for all forms of information disorder. And this reporting hub that we are proposing can highly complement the security operations capabilities of DICT as well as CICC. And then going to my fourth point is to leverage on sectoral reporting. So for example po, Mr. Chair, in the financial services sector, they are being governed by Bangko Sentral. So Bangko Sentral, they already have their own set of guidelines and reporting deepfakes, scams, and fraud. So I think with that and with the initiative that we are trying to put forward, this is something that we can collaborate po with them. Going to my last slide po. Okay, so for the respond and recover, so ASOC, similar to any security operations center po, ASOC will be a pool of experts who can do digital forensics, who can do threat hunting to investigate the different cases of information disorder using a prioritized approach. We are also looking at implementing an incident response and post-incident processes so that at least we will have an avenue to identify what did we do best, what did we not do best, and how we can further improve. And then, of course, improve education on media literacy, continuously engage ASOC on trainings from experts abroad because the ASOC has been implemented in other countries, and maybe this is also something that we Filipinos can also do using our very own local capabilities. And then going to my last point is to appoint a government entity that will enforce the necessary mitigation and or prosecution of the perpetrators. So these are the strategic recommendations set forth for your consideration, Mr. Chair, by the Cybersecurity Council of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Miss Mel. Okay, so lastly, Digital Media Standards Council. Ma'am A. Ubaldo, now you're recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, Representative Raman. I will not take a lot of your time. So Sorry, you can't hear me. So I'm Ayi Ubaldo from the newly convened Digital Media Standards Coalition. So in my parallel life, I'm also the Executive Director of the Blockchain Council of the Philippines. So to make it
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you speak louder? Put the mic much closer to you. Thank you.
Sorry. Shall I begin again? So, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Representative Raman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ayi Ubaldo from the newly convened Digital Media Standards Coalition. My parallel life, I'm also the Executive Director of the Blockchain Council of the Philippines. So the Digital Media Standards Coalition is a group of private-led members from the arenas of communications, public information, broadcasting, technologies, academic, and even content creators. So in this coalition, we have groups like the Cybersecurity Council and the Blockchain Council of the Philippines. I'm represented here today. So the DMSC, it will not be, we're for self-regulation. So this, it will be non-government, it will be non-partisan, and it's going to be independently governing, and it will grow to be a trusted entity that is based on values. It will be data-centric, it will be timely, it can be the go-to platform, and we have government for ethical guidance for this. So the coalition will be under self-regulation mode. It will operate in collaboration with pertinent and relevant government offices as necessary. And above all, it can easily mobilize. Self-regulation allows that. And of course, it will be agile, it will be current, and it can easily gauge, the climb. It will easily gauge what are we looking at currently and how do we envision this, 5 years, 10 years. So it will be allowed to do that. We believe that self-regulation allows a band of like-minded associations, individuals, a collective group with this agility to act timely, reflective, and without bias. So the Digital Media Standards Coalition has self-regulation models that are decades old, 50 years old, operating in collaboration with government entities, and we're learning from them. The KBP and the oft-mentioned Ad Standards Council are only two of these self-regulating bodies. The advertising and marketing industry, they're composed of many industries like PANA, ASAP, 4As. All of these are self-regulating entities. And, we're an integrated communications industry. And even with the ASC alone, that's just 7 industries, associations under one organization. And it has, for the past 50 years, been self-regulating. So the ASC, for example, I do content creation for the ASC, so I do have some backbone for this. We work for the DTI, the DOH, the FDA, the MTRCB, to name just a few government.
It brief so that our line of questioning will not be
All right.
out of
Duly
track.
noted.
The Global AI Council, Ms. Halandoni, you are recognized.
I will be very brief.
Thank you.
And yes, we are part of the Digital Media Standards Coalition. The Global AI Council is a collective of private sector AI industry leaders from enterprises and corporations. We advocate for ethical adoption and integration of AI in the Philippines, and we hosted the first State of the Nation in AI Congress last January 2025. We are also in the works of developing the Philippine AI report with the support of DOST and DICT secretaries. So our battle cry is actually democratizing AI education